Is my husband gaslighting me? Advice needed, please Reddit community. My name is Elena. I'm 29 years old. And right now, I'm not sure if my husband is just emotionally broken or if he's breaking me on purpose. I've never shared something this personal before, but after 12 years together and two small kids, I'm exhausted and confused. And I need to know if I'm the problem or if I'm being manipulated by the man I trusted with my entire life. Let me take you back to the beginning. I met Darren when I was 17. He was 20, charming, steady, and nothing like the chaos I grew up in. My childhood? It was a minefield. Violence, addiction, neglect. I lived in more places than I can count and never truly felt safe. Darren knew all of that. He said he loved how strong I was, said he wanted to give me the life I never had. By 18, I'd moved in with him. By 22, we had our first child. But looking back, I should have seen the signs. A year into living together, I found out Darren had been secretly messaging his ex, not just catching up. He was telling her I was totally fine with them talking. I wasn't. When I found out, he played it off, said it wasn't a big deal. I told him it made me uncomfortable and he stopped. Or so he said. But something in me broke that day, not because of the texts, but because he decided for me how I should feel. There's something you should know. Darren had a serious porn addiction. And for me, based on my trauma, it feels like betrayal. I told him this. But instead of stopping, he just got sneakier. Incognito tabs, deleted history, denial. Eventually, I did the unthinkable. I let him record me. I hated it. Every second of it. But I wanted to be enough for him. Still, he never once offered to stop. Not until he got caught. Again, Darren has this habit of telling me I've said or done things that make no sense. Things that don't sound like me at all. When I push back, he smirks, laughs, and says, "You know your memory is bad." And maybe he's right. My memory isn't great. Trauma does that to a person. But lately, I've started wondering, is my memory broken? Or is he rewriting reality to protect himself? Whenever I bring up how I feel, he cries. Like clockwork. I'll try to explain what's bothering me, and within minutes, he's sobbing about his childhood. Suddenly, I'm comforting him, reassuring him. He'll promise to change, ask what he can do, and I'll give him clear answers. For maybe 2 weeks, things will improve. Then it's like the conversation never happened. It used to take me a whole day to explain my emotions. I'd dissociate, just mentally vanish, because it was safer than arguing. But Darren hated that. He'd pressure me to open up, even when I physically couldn't. Now I force myself to speak sooner, but most days I just bury my feelings. I know what happens if I express them. More guilt, more tears, more empty promises. I work nights. On weekends, I sleep in while Darren watches the kids. One morning, I woke up to an empty house. Our daughter, 6 years old, was alone. No breakfast, no note, no warning. He took our son to the store and didn't bother to wake me up. When I asked what happened, he said he was gone. Only 30 minutes. Said he hit 2 auto shops, a garage sale, and a cafe. All in 30 minutes? No way. But what chilled me wasn't the lie. It was that he took both sets of car keys and smiled when I confronted him. We lost the kids' social security cards after opening their bank accounts. I panicked, tore the house apart. He didn't seem to care. Then months later, the cards magically showed up in my top drawer, a drawer I only use for clothes. He laughed when I told him, said, "Guess it was you after all." But later, after I pressed, he half-heartedly admitted it was probably him. It didn't feel like an apology. It felt like manipulation. Darren likes to joke that I'm stuck with him forever. Says if I ever try to leave, he'll lock me in a closet. Our kids laugh. I pretend to. But inside, I'm not laughing. He even tells them, "Mommy and Daddy will never get divorced. You'll never have step-parents." Like he's already written the ending to my story, and I don't get a say. I want to start a small daycare from home. It's a step toward independence, toward freedom. To make it work, I plan to juggle my current night job and the daycare for a year just to pay off debt. But Darren keeps suggesting I just quit. Says I should only do one, as if he's trying to slow me down, keep me stuck. Dependent. I've told him so many times what I need to feel loved. I crave romance. Simple gestures, thoughtful surprises. He shrugs it off, says it's not who he is. Says his parents weren't romantic, so he never learned. But love isn't genetics, it's effort, and he never tries. Sometimes, I wish he would cheat on me, just so I'd finally have an excuse to walk away. I know that sounds awful, but when someone chips away at your sanity, your dignity, and your voice, you start fantasizing about escape, any escape. But here's the part that really hurts. I've spent years trying to give my kids the stable, loving home I never had. But now I'm scared I'm just teaching them how to survive dysfunction, instead of thrive in peace. I don't know if what I'm experiencing is gaslighting, or if I'm just too broken to recognize love. But I do know one thing. The longer I stay silent, the more I disappear. And I'm starting to realize, maybe I don't need him to hurt me worse to justify leaving. Maybe hurting less is reason enough.